I apologize, but it's time for a minor rant. It's a rant that irritates me as an energy worker, but more importantly, it irritates me because it totally disempowers you as an energy being. Skeptics are wrong. You do have innate psychic abilities, and those psychic abilities can be honed and learned and developed to make you a skilled clairvoyant that can see what other people can't see and sense connections that other people can't sense. Imagine being able to see and to feel and to sense thoughts and beliefs that are hidden to most people. There are a lot of techniques out there to develop your psychic ability, but in this video, I'm going to cover one technique that will unlock your potential as a psychic. You're going to be able to start seeing right away, regardless of your level of experience with energy work. This technique's going to guide you into seeing the unknown, where most people's sight is honestly pretty limited because either they don't believe that they have the ability to see psychically or they've never tried to develop it. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Katie. I've been working with subtle energy for years, but about 6 years ago, I discovered my own innate psychic abilities when I joined a Reddit channel and started to do some really casual remote viewing. And remote viewing is a specific type of psychic reading. While I was dabbling in remote viewing, the feedback that I was getting was just short of amazing. Like, my readings were really accurate, and that really surprised me because I didn't think that I was a psychic. It's not that I didn't believe that psychic ability exists. I certainly did at the time, but I just didn't think that it was a gift that I had. But to call it a gift is kind of a misnomer because I don't think it's necessarily a gift. I believe that it's something that each and every person has the ability to do. Some are more apt at it, but everyone has the ability to develop that gift. So once I learned that I actually did have some ability to see psychically, I was super excited, and I went and I studied everything I could find. To be honest with you, those first few sessions of viewing and finding out that my sight was accurate was totally exhilarating. So today, after many years of study and learning, I'm able to show you how to delve into your own supernatural powers. This is going to be really fun, and I'm excited for you to learn how to develop your own skills and start seeing. This technique that I'm going to show you today can be used to see questions about yourself or to answer questions about others. So step one, the first step is I want you to find a space in your home, preferably a comfy chair or a bed, where you can be alone, away from other people, and also away from pets. The reason why I want you to start alone is because the energy that comes from your friend or family or people nearby or even pets, it can distract you, and it can also influence the reading because their energy is coming on and you're seeing that, but you need to be able to discern just the energy coming from your query. And maybe you haven't heard this before, but psychic reading is a form of energy work. It's basically reading energy. Psychic ability is reading energy as information, and that can include sights, smells, touch that come in. And the reason I say that you want to even have pets out of the way is because I have a cat, and she knows when my energy changes and when I'm trying to focus, and she always chooses that exact moment to jump up on me or demand something. So if you can have your space free of distractions, that's the best. And it also helps to put your cell phone on silent because that can distract you in the middle of a reading too. Okay, on to step two. Step two is you want to get in a comfortable position. It's really good to get in a comfortable position and be free from distractions because that allows you to access your subconscious mind. Distractions and discomfort make it a lot harder to access this part of our mind. And by using this technique and following the steps, you're going to learn how to access your subconscious mind. You're going to get really good at it. You're going to become a master at using your subconscious mind to your advantage. The reason that we all have psychic ability to some extent is because we're all connected. Our subconscious mind provides us with access to this connection. And when we use our subconscious mind to access this information, it pulls this information from the field. So it's as easy as that. The hardest part really is getting relaxed enough to allow the information to flow through. So find a comfy chair or even sit on the edge of your bed. As long as you're comfortable, that's what we're looking for. Also, quick note, wherever you sit, make sure that you have your feet planted flat on the floor. That's because this allows for the best flow of energy when we're doing our grounding work, which is going to come up in just a sec. Also, while you're sitting, place your hands palm up because this allows you to receive the energy that's coming through. So having our feet planted on the floor grounds our energy and allows our energy to go down, but receiving the energy, we want to have our hands palms up. And of course, you'll want to close your eyes because that allows you to see in your mind's eye the images that will pop up, and it also keeps distractions away. Okay, on to step three. Step 3 is super easy. It's just a really quick 5-minute meditation. This meditation gets your mind in the right state to read. I'm all about easy, so I really don't like to make this too complicated. Meditation is actually super easy. What I do is I just sit and I try and find a sound in the room, maybe the air conditioner or a fan or the refrigerator, or some consistent sound, or if I'm meditating outside, maybe it's the birds chirping. And I just focus my mind on that sound. And when thoughts come up, which they will, I just say, okay, there's a thought, goodbye, and I say goodbye to it. And then I continue to focus on the sound. If you don't have any sounds available in your environment, they even have apps available that can put on like background noise for you, so you can listen to that. So what I do is I just sit there with my eyes closed, listening to the sound and just relaxing. And I do that for about 5 minutes. So after about 5 minutes of this, you should feel relaxed and have a clear mind. This meditation is going to make your reading go much smoother because the state of meditation is actually really similar to the state that you want to be in for reading. While you're reading, similar to while you're doing meditation, you're going to need to release those extraneous thoughts that come into your head. So it's good practice too. Okay, so on to step 4. Step 4 is getting yourself grounded. And I'm going to give you a really brief overview of grounding. What you want to do, this is one technique that you can use for grounding. It's certainly not the only one, but pretend that you have like a cable coiled up next to you. And you pick up the end of this cable and go ahead and check it out and look at it and notice the color, notice the texture, notice the material that it's made of. And then I want you to take this cable and I want you to connect it to your root chakra. Just do this in your mind's eye. You don't have to actually connect it there. But connect it to your root chakra, which if you don't know where your root chakra is, it is basically located at your tailbone. So imagine yourself connecting this cable to your tailbone. And then just sit in your relaxed state, palms up, feet on the floor. And just imagine all the unwanted energy flowing through your body. Anything that's been going on in the day, any people that have influenced you with their energy. Just imagine this energy going down this cable like it's swirling like water down a bathtub drain. Just imagine it flowing. And this cable, what you want to do is imagine one end at your root chakra. The other end of the cable, imagine this cable can move lightning fast, like instantaneously. So imagine this cable has gone down to the molten center core of the earth. So that's where this energy is going that you're imagining flowing out through your body. And once that energy flows out of your body, down the bathtub drain and to the center of the earth, I want you to imagine that energy returning to whomever it belongs, because it doesn't belong to you, right? So it should go back to its rightful owner. So you just clear this energy, just imagine it flowing through. And grounding really can be as simple as that. And what you can do as an additional step after you've released all the energy is remove the grounding cord in your mind's eye, in your imagination, and destroy the cable completely so that you know that that energy can't creep back up the cable and attach to you. And then what I want you to do is to make sure you stay grounded during your reading is we're going to attach a new cable. So imagine a new cable. It can be different material, different color, different width, whatever you're comfortable with. So take this new cable, attach it to your root chakra, and set the intention that it's going to be clearing energy as you're doing your reading. And on to step 5. So I like to begin my readings with a short affirmation of intention. And this can be anything that you want to say, anything that you're comfortable with. I'm going to give you an example of something I might use, but I might use different ones as well. So you can just either use your own words or you can use these words. So thank you, source energy. Thank you, higher self. Thank you, spirit guides, for granting me access to this field. Thank you for granting me access to this field that you created for our expansion. I feel so blessed to be part of the expansion of everything. Thank you for the inexhaustible abundance that exists there. Thank you for giving me the information, allowing the information to flow through me that I need to see to answer my questions and to answer my query. Thank you for allowing me access to this field. Help me understand the messages I'm receiving. Please guide my understanding. I thank you for the wisdom that you provide. And I thank you for the never-ending assistance that you offer whenever I ask. So it's not so much the exact words that you're using, but it's the intention and the heart behind the words. So you want to give thanks and you want to ask for understanding. Those are the important things of setting an intention. Gratitude always goes a long way. So now that we've covered the groundwork, let's get into setting up the mechanics of beginning a reading. So to start the reading, we're going to create a space, and we're going to do this in our mind's eye, in our imagination. And this space is going to be a screen. And the purpose of this screen is so that we can have images flashed on it or portrayed on that screen. So it's a space for the images to appear. So we're going to create a reading panel in our mind. The panel can look like anything you want. It can look like a movie screen. It can look like a large TV screen. It can look like a blackboard at school or a whiteboard at school or whatever. Any type of screen that you resonate with or you jive with that you like, you can create that. I like movie screens, so that's what I create in my mind's eye. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine the details of this screen that you've created in your mind. What does it look like? What material is it made out of? Where is it at? What do the edges look like? What color is it? So create all those little details in your mind. Get a really detailed picture of this screen. And mine looks exactly like the movie screen at the Cineplex, so it's pretty easy. I just remember that movie screen and I visualize it in my mind because I like a nice big screen so I can see a lot. At least that's how my mind works anyways. So now what I want you to do is, also you're grounded, but I want you to give your reading screen a grounding cord. You can just create a new cord and attach it to the corner of one of your screens and set the intention that that cable will be removing any unwanted or foreign energy from the reading screen while we're doing our reading. It doesn't have to be something complicated. Just set the intention, set the cord, and that's all it needs to be. I'm all about easy, right? And just be aware that occasionally you may need to wipe your screen of energy. That's totally normal. You can, in your mind's eye, wipe the screen in between images that you receive, and you wipe it and you just wish the energy, or you set the intention that the energy will flow down the grounding cable. So step 7, this is one of the most exciting steps. This is where you make your query or your question. So I'm sure that you came into this with a question that you wanted an answer to. So get that question in your mind. So what you want to do is state the purpose of your reading. And remember, you're sitting comfortable, you have your palms up, your eyes are closed. So now, what information are you seeking? So example questions can be, why am I feeling so sad or frustrated? You can make queries about yourself if you're trying to understand some feelings that have come up, or maybe you're triggered and you're trying to understand why that feeling came up. You can also ask more practical questions, like, should I pursue a relationship with this specific person? Or should I accept this job? Or should I start this business or this YouTube page, right? And remember, the answers, I'm going to talk about this more in a minute, but the answers will come in the form of visions and feelings. You can even ask health-related questions like, why am I having a hard time losing weight? Or where are these headaches coming from? Or whose energy is influencing me right now and why? Where is this unwanted energy coming from? Or why do I feel so uneasy about this specific person? Sometimes you get this feeling about someone, but you just don't know why. Maybe you want to do a reading about that. Or where is my future with this person? Or should I stay with this person? So those are examples of queries. Now, obviously, yours can be pretty much anything. The questions can really be anything. Anything you want an answer to, but when you think about it, your rational mind's just not giving up an answer. Because remember, we're accessing the subconscious mind, which has access to infinite information because it's connected to the field. Our rational minds are not connected to the field, but our subconscious mind is, which is why we need to access our subconscious mind to get these answers. The answers that come from the infinite field are far better than the rational mind's answers. So what I want you to do is get the question and pose the question to your source, your guides, and your higher self. Okay, here's where things get good, okay? Step 8. Can I hold up 8 fingers? 8. The answers are going to come, like I said earlier, I alluded to this. They're going to come in an energetic form. They're going to come in pictures and feelings. And some people, some psychics even, they come in the form of smell or physical sensations, or even audible things. Sometimes they get an audible reading. So I want to tell you a quick story about a query I did for a friend and what happened, because this is going to be important for you to know for your own experience right now. So I once did a friend for a reading that was really, really bizarre. It was so weird that I didn't even want to share it with him. In fact, I'll just tell you what it was. I was doing a reading for him and this image of Medusa came up. And I'm like, Medusa? That's so random. That's so weird. I'm like, I don't even know why it came up. because the image didn't seem related to him at all, to be honest with you. And I just didn't want to share it with him because I thought it was weird. I thought my mind was just being weird, but it turns out it wasn't. And to tell you the truth, it was actually not only Medusa, it was a stone statue of Medusa, and it was really dark. It had like a dark vibe to it. So I wanted to ignore it because I didn't understand it. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to share it with him. So I did. As it turns out, and this will happen with you a lot in your readings, he was able to decipher the meaning of the Medusa statue. He knew exactly what it meant and who it referred to and why it had dark energy attached to it. It applied to something that he was experiencing in his life at that moment. In fact, it was directly related to someone close to him. I'm not going to reveal who because I don't want to violate his privacy, but it was someone close to him. So he confirmed that the image had to do with someone close to him. And I felt like so validated. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I don't know why I was given that image, but it related to him. And the truth is that I didn't even know I still don't know the full meaning of why I received that image. And sometimes when you're receiving images, you're not going to know the full meaning, but a lot of times you will. But he knew, and that was so validating for me. So just to be aware, I just want you to know that's how things are going to go when you're reading sometimes. You'll get some pretty far out stuff, some pretty interesting images, maybe colors, feelings. Don't disregard any of that stuff. It's all really important. It all means something. It all has some meaning. And sometimes the things won't seem related. But what I want you to do is to look at the images that you get, no matter how random or bizarre they are, and ask your higher self for guidance. Ask for understanding. You can always ask your higher self. Your higher self exists in the infinite field. Your higher self has access to all this information that your rational mind just doesn't have. So you're going to get an answer that way. So as I said before, you're going to receive your answer in the form of an emotion, a feeling, or an image on this screen that you've created. So just start by posing the question and directing it at your reading screen. And just watch. Keep your eyes closed and just watch what's going on the screen. What happens? What shows up? What feelings? What images? What patterns? Invite the energy onto your reading panel. Say, I invite you. Please show yourself to me. And one of my favorite things is once you start a reading and you get an image, you may understand it right away. You may understand a feeling right away. You may understand a color or a pattern right off the bat. And that's one of the most exciting things about reading. But you just have to trust it. You have to trust what you see. And if you don't understand it, just ask your higher self or source or whatever you call it for some more understanding and some more guidance, and that will come. And another thing you can do is if you receive an image, for example, that you don't understand what it means, ask your higher self for another image to clarify the first image. So once you've done the work and you've received an image and you're satisfied because you've asked your higher self for additional meaning, additional clarification, basically once you're done with the image, what I want you to do is destroy the reading screen in your mind and recreate it. This is a form of clearing the energy and getting ready to read something else. So you just notice the details of the screen, notice it being destroyed, notice the grounding cable being destroyed, and just create a new one with a new grounding cord. So just once you put the new cord there, just send it down to the center of the earth and continue watching your reading panel. And pose the question again if you haven't gotten an answer to that question, or if you have another question, you can pose that question. So watch the reading panel carefully for any changes in the quality of the reading panel, any colors, any textures, any patterns, especially images, and continue to investigate those images. So it's kind of a process of seeing an image and then asking source or your higher self for more clarification or more understanding. So you see an image, ask for clarification. If there's not clarification, ask for another image to clarify that previous image. So just continue asking your higher self about details of the image. For example, you might see a loved one with unusual clothes on, right? Or maybe you see a loved one with a strange expression on their face. So ask your guides, why is my loved one wearing these clothes? Or what does this expression mean on their face? And then just sit quietly and wait for the answer to come. This is really hard because we're all conditioned to work with our rational mind, but psychic reading doesn't work from the rational mind. It's information that we receive from the subconscious mind or the infinite field. So patience is really important here. Just continue to sit in your relaxed state and just wait for the answer to come up. And here's a question I get a lot is, how would I know if the information I'm getting is coming from my rational mind, like it's a thought that I have, or if I'm receiving it from the field. And you're going to know because the quality of the information feels different. The information that comes from the field, it feels soft, it feels inspiring, it feels right. It's not something that you're thinking or you're remembering, it's something that you're receiving. It just appears spontaneously. It's like it comes out of nowhere while you're totally relaxed. So I mentioned this earlier, but your subconscious mind can and will deliver images that are totally random and that they seem weird and make no sense. It may even send images that to your rational mind seem totally irrelevant, but they're not. What I want you to do in that case is continue to ask your higher self for more clarification. If you're new at this, it can take a while for the images to start appearing, but just be patient and sit with your reading panel. Just relax and visualize it. Just sit there and relax with it for a while. The images are going to appear when you're most relaxed and when you're least worried about the images appearing, if that makes sense. So just be patient if you're just starting out. Just allow the images and the sensations and the feelings just to flow. Just continue asking your higher self to send the images, send the feelings, send the pictures to answer your question. But you have to do it from a calm and relaxed state. And remember, it's your rational mind that wants to dismiss any weird images. And the reason it wants to dismiss those weird images is because it doesn't understand the images. So it just wants to get rid of them and not deal with them. But the truth is that your heart, which your heart is connected to the infinite field, your heart will understand them and your higher self understands them. So you always ask for clarification. So this is just a process of seeing and feeling and asking for clarification, and seeing and feeling and asking for clarification. And I promise you, the answers will come. And just so you know, sometimes you can also be in a state where you're energetically blocking the answer for a very specific reason. If there are things that you're dealing with, or if you're doing a reading for someone else and there are things they are dealing with that they're not ready to tackle, then energetically they can be blocking that information from the reading. And this is because their subconscious mind has set up like a defense mechanism to block the energy, because that person is just not ready to deal with whatever's revealed. So if you or someone that you're reading is not ready to process the information yet, that can be why your reading is getting blocked. And that's totally normal. As you get to a place in your reading and you continue the practice, as you get to a place where you're ready to process that information, it will come eventually. And that's another reason that I'm really big on shadow work and inner work and dealing through with those triggers and working through those, because that allows more information to come to us from the field. So remember, trauma and things like that can block energy. It's a protective defense mechanism because your mind is trying to protect you from feeling certain emotions. And possibly it's even trying to protect you from reliving certain events in your life that you're not ready to relive. If you're experiencing that, what I want you to do is go back and watch some of my other videos on doing inner work and shadow work and healing those wounds so that you're ready to emotionally process and heal those things, and so that you can start seeing what you need to see. So I want to keep it brief. So that wraps up how to do a reading step by step, the simplest way I can show you how. And with practice, I know that you're going to become a total master at psychic reading. So next week, I'm going to be releasing a really exciting video. So I want you to be sure and like and subscribe to this, because the new video coming up is going to be about how we can know if we have a strong psychic connection to someone. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun and really exciting. So if you want to not miss that, be sure and subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you can be notified when that video comes up. And as always, please leave any comments or questions below. I know you might have some questions about how to do a reading, so leave those in the comments below. I read every single question and I try and answer every single one as well. So with that, bye.